back to the Squared Circle Action Figure Podcast YouTube channel. We're very excited to be here today to do an unboxing of a WWE Jakks Pacific Classic Superstar Series 26 Dr. Death Steve Williams. Before we get into the unboxing, I want to thank everyone for all their support. We've had a lot of people starting to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So we're very, very, very excited about it all. We are launching our podcast, the Squared Circle Action Figure Podcast, in November of this year. So as we lead up to this, we want to make sure that you all follow us on, obviously, Instagram and Twitter at SQD Circle AFP. That's at SQD Circle AFP. We'll be posting videos there. We'll be posting photos of very rare wrestling figures, some new wrestling figures. We'll be also posting giveaways there. Just gave away an awesome WWE Mattel Elite 69 Miz figure. We're really excited for you all to follow us, and we're very excited to provide you with an alternative content. We also want you to obviously subscribe to this YouTube channel. Very important you do so. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and also like and comment on our videos. We want to know what you want moving forward. Do you want us to do more unboxings? Do you want us to do figure reviews? Do you want us to do debates on figures, figure histories? Just let us know what kind of content you want and we'll provide it to you. We want this to be completely interactive with our subscribers, so please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's Squared Circle Action Figures. Again, the YouTube channel is Squared Circle Action Figures, and you can actually find a link to that YouTube channel on my Instagram page, which is, again, at SQD Circle AFP. So I want to get into this unboxing. Pretty excited here. We're going to be unboxing this again. Steve Williams figure today, as it says on the box. I actually want to mention where I got this figure first. I got this at Funkenstein's Wrestling Superstore in Englishtown, New Jersey. They're located at the Englishtown Flea Market, and they have a wide array of wrestling figures. They do have some other action figures as well, but they really, really focus on action figures. The owners are incredible. They have new lots of figures and merch coming in pretty much weekly. Right now they have a huge lot of Marvel TNA figures, so if you're looking for them, go get them. And they have a ton of these classic superstars, which is why I got this Dr. Death Steve Williams. It's one that's getting really hard to find, and Funkenstein had it. You can actually like and follow them on Facebook. They do have a Facebook page, and they have an eBay store. So I will give you all that information in this video. So you can go there and contact the owners, Heather or Dan. They'll help you out. They're great people. So let's get into the unboxing of this Dr. Death Steve Williams. Really quickly, I do want to give a little bit of a historical background of the superstar moving forward. I think that's really important to get to know who the wrestler was and why I think he's important in the wrestling community. Dr. Death Steve Williams is actually pretty much a really old school style wrestler. So he's a big guy. He's got a build weight of 280 pounds and a height of about 6'2". So big dude. And he became a professional wrestler because he actually couldn't get drafted in the NFL. He was actually the starting right guard for the University of Oklahoma. And from about 80 to 83, he played with the team. He switched between positions, but then he was the starting right guard in 1982. And he actually went to the 1983 Fiesta Bowl with the University of Oklahoma. So as you can see in the figure, that's why he does have those red and white colors to pay homage to his university. So after his collegiate football career ended, again, like I said, he didn't get drafted to the NFL, so he decided to become a professional wrestler. And he actually trained under Bill Watts and Buddy Landel, Mid-South Wrestling. Everybody knows about them. He did that for a period of, I would say, about from 82 to 87, until Mid-South was actually, or at the time they were called Universal Wrestling Federation, was actually bought out by Jim Crockett Promotions. After that period, from 87 to 97, he actually wrestled in a variety of places for Jim Crockett Promotions, WCW, ECW, and even he was really known for wrestling in Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling. So he was just a big force, a big unique character, grappler, had a really big stature in the ring. Just really known to be this really tough guy, you know. So from 87 to 97, he did win a couple championships. He won the Tag Team NWA United States Tag Team Championship and the NWA Tag Team Championship, which is actually on the box here, with Kevin Sullivan during that period of time in the late 80s. And also from 87 to 97, he had one of the longest streaks in professional wrestling, the longest unpinned streak in professional wrestling. So that's kind of what he was known for during that period of time. I personally remember him in WCW wrestling and his brief stint in ECW. And actually in 97, that's when his unpinned streak ended, and that was against Raven in ECW. So as we all know, then in 98, to move on, he actually signed a contract with the WWF, WWE. This was the Attitude Era period. He came in during a period where they wanted to try to kind of get more superstars from MMA and MMA backgrounds, and they thought that Dr. Death would fit well with these guys, like Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock, just because he was this big brute force. So they actually inserted him into the Brawl for All, which, I mean, as you know, is probably one of the worst WWF, WWE pay-per-views of all time. He did go on in the coming years to feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin and kind of have just an up and down career in the WWE, WWF. And it was really a disappointment. You know, I think the Attitude Era was an era where everybody was very outspoken, and that wasn't really who Steve Williams was. You know, he was very just a menacing character, and he wasn't very good on the mic per se. So I think that was one of his downfalls. So during this period, though, they did create another action figure of him. Jakks Pacific held the license, obviously, for WWE, WWF action figures at the time. And basically, they did create a BCA, bone crunching action style figure of him. And then they created this one in 2009. What's really eerie and odd is, and I don't know if this coincides with why they made the figure, but he did actually pass away in 2009. So he is no longer with us, and this figure kind of commemorates him in a way, which is really fun. It's so much better than the BCA version, and it's always the Dr. Death that I personally wanted in my collection. So let's get into unboxing this. Obviously, you know the classic Superstars. It has the classic packaging, the emblem here. It's great. The picture of the figure, and then Steve Williams. I believe, again, I think they couldn't use Dr. Death at the time. Maybe a naming rights issue. I don't know. Comment on this video and let us know if you know why they couldn't use Dr. Death at the time. I'm thinking it was, you know, during the PG era, so maybe they just couldn't, you know, put that on the box. What a wonderful figure here. In the back, obviously, it has his bio with his build, height, and weight, his move, the backdrop driver, and then obviously it lists his titles that he's held. And then obviously it shows you the rest of the Classic Superstars Series 26 here. This was really a later series in the line. They had released some really unique characters that I thought we would never get, like the Shockmaster, Mang, Fuji, and the Powers of Pain kind of attire with the marathon sign, and then a really nice Bret Hart that was two-tone tights, black and pink, and then obviously Dr. Death and some really classic superstars as well, like the Iron Sheik. I personally love Dr. Death. I really wanted a figure of him for a very long time looking like this and this like highly detailed, so let's get into the unboxing. I was very psyched about this figure. I did open this prior, so it's easier for me to unbox. You know, just I cut kind of along the edges. It slips right out of the plastic prison, as we say. What's really fun and unique about the Classic Superstar series for me is that I actually collected them all mint on card. This is probably about 10 years ago, and unfortunately I had to sell my collection. Never got to see any of these out of the packaging, so it's really unique when I look at a figure the first time. Some of the things and the details that I couldn't really see 10 years ago, which is fun. So as you can see, he has this awesome entrance robe here. It's obviously in those Oklahoma Sooner colors, the red and the white. He does have awesome pockets, stitched pockets. these nice cuffs on the sleeve that are in red, and then his hood with this kind of red colored trim over here. Really nice belt as well. I mean, this is a thick cloth fabric. They really decked the robe out. The only thing that I would have liked to seen on the robe was probably a little of the fire design we'll talk about later. But other than that, it's pretty much perfect. He used to come, obviously, to the ring in the robe, kind of with this wet hair with the hood over him, and it really, a really fun entrance. Really menacing character. So as you can see from the figure here, it's a wonderful face scan. I mean, it's highly detailed. The scan sculpt on this is incredible. It looks just like Dr. Death. You can even see he has like textured wet hair, which is fun, and this really full beard. The head's a little big, but not overly big for the figure. I mean, you know, you can go both ways on it. Some may think it's a little big, some may think it's in proportion. They use kind of a mid-torso here. He's not super jacked, but he is jacked because he was big. He had a huge chest. He was just a big guy. Very muscular arms, and then just these plain red tights, which is very simple. That's what he kind of wore. And then they have these knee pads here, which are really cool too. These are the newer style, later series knee pads, which were a little, they were kind of like plastic. They were thinner, a little soft plastic here. I mean, I love these because they weren't as bulky as the older ones. And then as you can see, really the details come in on his boots, where he has this classic skull and crossbone design, and then the fire along the edge of the boots. Again, I would have loved for this fire to be a little more on the entrance jacket, but I get it. I mean, it's a budget. You got to watch what you can do with your budget and go from there. So that finishes our unboxing of the Classic Superstar Series 26 Steve Williams figure, Dr. Death Steve Williams. We hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Hope you enjoyed the historical background on the Superstar. We want to do more of that moving forward. Please comment. Comment on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Squared Circle Action Figs. We're super excited to launch our obviously weekly episodic podcast in November, Squared Circle Action Figure Podcast. So yeah, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at SQD Circle AFP. You'll have more information about when that launch is exactly going to be, what it is. Also, I'll be actually posting some segments, so you'll get to know what our segments are going to be called, and we'll do fun things like that. We'll be posting more, obviously, photos, videos, store visits, unboxings, etc. as we lead up to the launch of the Squared Circle Action Figure Podcast. So this is Will. I'm signing off here. Thank you so much again for watching, and remember that the Squared Circle Action Figure Podcast is the gold standard in wrestling figure collecting.